Going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to be working on this Predator. I believe this thing is a 9,000 watt 7250 running. So Predator 9000 here. I already did a little bit of a pre-inspection on this bad boy, and I could tell, let me get some more light. I could tell it's locked up somewhere, probably in the valves. And I think I actually have some valves for this, or I have a valve that could work. You never know. We don't know. We don't know yet. So we're going to have to take this bad boy apart, and we're going to start by removing the gas tank. And it's a pretty simple procedure. I mean, you're probably looking and saying, no, how do you get these bars off? Well, you don't get these bars off. You got to pull the gas tank out from the front. And it is a bit of a pain, but we're going to walk through it. So like I said, you guys can see here, the exhaust valve is moving, but the intake is not moving. So we're going to remove this whole head, but we got to dismantle pretty much this whole thing here. So we'll start by taking off the gas tank, and we are going to remove this little air vent thing that goes to the carbon filter, just to get that off there. Then we could start by two 10 millimeters on this bar here, and then this bar can be removed after we take these two off. I'm trying to see, I don't think this is holding nothing on, so yeah, I don't take a whole lot of these off. And this gas tank is plumb full. Okay, we get that bar off, put that aside. Let me grab a place to put these bolts. I might just put them up here away from these ones, so I know. I'll just put these up here. Come back here, two bolts off here. As you notice, this bar does not come off. This bar is welded on. That should be everything that's holding this gas tank on. Obviously, besides our fuel line that goes to our carburetor. Okay, now I believe we should just be able to pull this thing out. It's going to be a little heavy. Beautiful. So that came off way easier than I was expecting. We're just going to lean that up there. And now we're good. Now we have access to the main stage. Just to let you know, if you're doing this job, it's going to require a variety of nuts and bolts here. So we're going to use a 10, an 8, and a 13. And we can start with taking off the carburetor. That way we can get the 8s and the 13s out of the way. I mean the 8s and the 10s out of the way. Now, removing the carburetor isn't 100% necessary, but it'll make this job 100% easier. And this is covered in oil. That's not good to see. This one's not going to have any 8s. This thing is just absolutely sopping wet with oil. Now we'll have one on the back here. A 10 millimeter. I need actually, can I get in there with my impact? Oh, that's an 8. I hate when they switch things up on you. It's like, you could have made that a 10. I don't see why that would have hurt you. Take off my extension. Now we got the air filter off. We can just take the whole pipe down with us. Now from here we can just pull our carburetor off. I'm putting all the carburetor stuff in the air filter, so we know where that goes. We're just yanking that carburetor off, and we'll just let it drain gas on the floor there for a second. Actually, you know what? We can just fully disconnect it here. And I hate these little clamps they put in here to hold this fuel shut-off solenoid. Now, the thing of it is, though, this carburetor is clean, and there's nothing wrong with the carburetor. It's just the engine's locked up now. So I think he has a lot more problems to worry about than the carburetor. Now we go on to the air filter here. Or not the air filter, the muffler. It's going to be 6 10 millimeter bolts. There should be none more. Really, are you serious? One more, 9. 9 10 millimeter bolts to fully remove this bracket. Okay, well, we'll remove that more when we actually take apart the muffler. Okay, from here we can switch to our 8 millimeter, which if I can't impact it, that's fine. I'll just use a regular ratchet. Got a bolt right here. And this is going to take off this heat shield here. A bolt right there. You see one right here. Sometimes there's a cheeky little one hidden somewhere, but it looks like there's not going to be on this. We will disconnect the spring, pull this aside, and I'm trying to keep everything separate. Now from here we take our 13, 2 exhaust bolts. They're normally on there pretty good. And I lied, we're going to need bigger bolt size for the head too. I just don't know right offhand what we'll need. They look bigger than a 14, but I am curious to see what is stopping up this engine. Now we can remove the muffler. These 2 bolts right here that came off, I always like to keep the gasket on there and put these back on. And I did tell the customer too, like, you know, I don't want to put this back together if he doesn't want to do the repair, but I'm going to charge him to get to where I'm at. I'm taking off this bracket for the carburetor, and now it's just down to the head. So from there, let me get the right bolt for the 4 head bolts. I just went with my gut because they're 14s like I knew, like every head bolt is. It's a 14. I always like to hand loosen them first because they're torqued down really good. Last thing you need is something breaking too. Now from there, we'll slap on the impact and just zip them out. This one's covered in oil, the intake side. Oh, what are we doing now? We need to find a, what do you call it? Pry bar. Yeah, pry bar, baby. Oh wait, we're gonna have, no, that piece ain't holding it on, is it? But there is one, is that 10? No, that's an 8. There is one 8 right there that is holding this head on. This metal part is not holding this head on. It came off real easy. Let me pull out this rod. Rod looks good, not bent. There's a valve. Broken right off. Oh, fuck. It's destroyed. Piston, the intake valve broke off. Slammed into here, messed up around, destroyed the piston. Oh, look, that fits like a fucking puzzle piece. Oh, god damn, this thing is broke. Well, that's it. I ain't gonna fix it from here on out. It's too much money, and I honestly couldn't be bothered. So I'm just gonna call a customer and tell them it's junk. The generator's on, it's good. The starter is good. I don't know what else could be good. The coil, all the electronics on the top, maybe some internal parts like the camshaft. Well, yeah, I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. You just don't fix it. I mean, you could. I could fix it. It'd be about $300 to $400, but for that price, you just buy a new one. Got a band-aid here because I cut myself. But yeah, this thing is shot 10 ways a Sunday. The gas tank's good. Jesus. Well, anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, this one's going to the scrappy.